The imagination of nature, he told his audience, is always far greater than the imagination of man. He contrasted the scientific view of the natural world with the one contrived by ancients. Look at the way we see this today. Is it a dull idea? The world is a spinning ball, and people are held on all sides, some of them upside down, and we turn like a spit in front of a great fire. We whirl around the sun. Feynman's exuberance about science, about life, and about discovery made him a celebrated teacher. Robert Oppenheimer, who worked with him, described in 1943 as the most brilliant young physicist here, and everyone knows this. He's an excellent teacher. Those who heard him teach would resoundingly echo the observations that he was a rare talent and had a rare enthusiasm. He urged each of us to create his or her universe of ideas. It was excitingly different from what most of us had been taught earlier. Feynman was an exuberant teacher in every way. His enthusiasm spilled over onto those he held captive. He thought the quest to know the laws of the universe was an exciting adventure. "I'm an explorer," he said. "I like to find out." He was the ultimate scientific galumper. Science was fun for him, and he made science fun for those he taught. I never heard him give a lecture that did not make the audience laugh. His mother, Feynman wrote, taught him that one of the highest forms of understanding was laughter. All of his life, Feynman did for physics, for fun. People asked him how long he worked each week, and he really couldn't say because he never really knew he was working or when he was playing. Not surprisingly, Feynman was the favorite adult playmate of the children of his colleagues. Even at his last appearance, just a few months before he died of cancer, the audience was amazed at Feynman's joy in talking about teaching high school physics. As I watched, I realized I was witnessing something extraordinary. Feynman's energies grew as he responded to question after question. The outside corners of his eyes were creased by the smiles that played over his face as he talked about physics. His hands and arms cut through the air with increasing vigor. It was the enjoyment he exuded as he stood there talking about physics that moved me. It was an enjoyment I could feel. I had the feeling I was standing on holy ground. Feynman utterly enjoyed the idea of things. Science is done for the excitement of what is found out. And his book, by the way, was called The Pleasure of Finding Things Out. You cannot understand science, he emphasized, unless you understand and appreciate the great adventure of our time. Life was the fabulous pursuit of truth. It's a great adventure to contemplate the universe, to contemplate what it would be like without man. When this objective view is finally obtained and the mystery and majesty of matter are fully appreciated, we can view life as part of this universal mystery at its greatest depth. Some people will tell me that I've just described a religious experience. Well, you can call it what you wish. Like John Muir, who could not keep Glorious from popping out of his inkwell, Feynman's exuberant affair with nature bubbled over into his writing. When the chairman of a conference attended by Feynman proclaimed that scientists should teach what is known about science and not the wonders of science, Feynman passionately disagreed. "I think we should teach them wonders, that the purpose of knowledge is to appreciate wonders even more, and that the knowledge is just to put into correct framework the wonder that nature is." The thrill and mystery of nature, he said, come again and again, and with more knowledge comes deeper and more wonderful mystery. Feynman knew that exploration leads to pleasure, and that such pleasure leads to more discovery, that wonderful mysteries lure one to penetrate deeper still. He addressed Thoreau's pessimism about education, that education makes a straight-cut ditch of a free, meandering brook. He responded with the expansive love and optimism of a wondering mind. Carl Sagan agreed that to teach science is to teach awe. Not explaining science seems to me perverse. When you're in love, you want to tell the world. When we understand science, he continued, we're moved because in its encounter with nature, science invariably conveys reverence and awe. Feynman dazzled his audiences with intellectual capework. Mostly he infected audiences with his own joy in discovering the beautiful things of nature. Exuberance is beauty, and Feynman showed it to be. I'm delighted with the width of the world. I love to teach. I like to think of new ways of looking at things as I explain them to make them clearer. But maybe I'm not making them clearer. Probably what I'm doing is entertaining myself.